Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome, everyone, to Unapologetic Tea Time with your host, PG. That's me. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for taking your time out during your busy evening or your shutdown for the evening and getting ready for bed or whatever you do around this time. Thank you for stopping in to sit a spell, listen, and chat with me. It has been an interesting month already. Before I really get into everything, please like this video. That means hitting the thumbs up button. Share this video. And of course, I welcome all comments. Thanks again. You are tuned in to Unapologetic Tea Time with PG. Don't forget to check out my blog over at www.unapologetic-time with pg.com. Lots of interesting articles, lots of interesting information that you may not be able to use, but someone that you know may be able to. You could always share it, repost it, or whatever you like. Folks, I'd like to take um, a moment of silence for the families of the victims, as well as the entire student body at the school where their fellow students engaged in an all-out shootout, and there was fatality as well as injuries sustained. So I'm going to take this opportunity to have a moment of silence um, for those people that were affected during this all-out shootout at the middle school or at the STEM school. Parents, I'm going to say to you that are listening and folks that may tune in at a later time, please, if you have nieces, nephews, children, grandchildren, cousins, or what have you, please talk to them. Find out what's going on with them. Um, it starts at home, folks. The school system, the judicial system, the social workers, and everyone else in the communities, it starts at home first. They can only lend a hand, but it starts at home, wherever these kids are. Something terrible has gone on. I mean, something terrible. Kids killing kids, babies killing babies. It's just so much going on. And we have everything else in the world that's going on today. And we add insult to injury with these kind of circumstances that keep popping up time after time after time again. We have to find a solution, folks. And it's up to us to find the solutions, whether we be young, old, doesn't matter, black, white, Hispanic, Chinese, Asian, it doesn't matter. It's up to us to find the solutions. So I'm going to move right along. The title, I don't know what happened on YouTube. I had everything lined up. Everything was set to go. I did this several hours ago, and for some reason, it would not let me go live. It wanted me to change the time. It said the time needed to be further in the future. So I'm not certain what's going on. But the title of this vlog and podcast today is Mental Awareness Month. It's Mental Health Awareness Month. The month of May is always Mental Health Awareness Month. And today or tonight, I will be shouting out a wonderful agency that is Viewpoint Health here, located locally in the metropolitan area here in the Atlanta, Georgia metro area. It has a number of satellite offices and clinics, and it has a number of programs from A to Z. So we say a plethora of programs that folks in the surrounding areas and counties and the various communities can take advantage of. Um, folks, mental health is something to deal with. There's people that fight every day of their life, trying to keep themselves above water, um, because they suffer from some type of mental health illness. Statistics state, and it has been proven, and there is documented data, that nearly 1 out of every 5 U.S. adults experience a mental health issue each year. 1 in 5. 1 out of every 5. Basically, that rounds out to be approximately, when you look at the population of the US, it rounds out to be a gigantic number. And that number is approximately 16 million people that's affected by some form of mental health issue. And my data came from NAMI, which is the National Alliance on Mental Health Illness. A great organization. They do a lot for the mental health community. And what better way to take this opportunity and this month, the month of May, is to, one, everyone who has previously subscribed to me already should know, and if you've listened to any of my podcasts on any particular subjects, I've been transparent all along with my listeners and all of my subscribers. And that is, I too suffer from mental health issues. My diagnoses are depression, post-traumatic stress syndrome, as well as adjustment disorder. And it's a fight. It's an uphill battle. I'm not going to lie. There's times when I can't seem to shake it. There's times when I have to enlist my coping skills. I have to really dig way down deep and pull myself up by the bootstraps just to get out of bed. And some days, to be honest, that doesn't happen. Not too often, but there are days that does not happen. I am on medication. The medication is working for me. But far too many times, folks, there is a stigma that goes on in especially the African American community, the Latino community, about mental illness. A lot of times, underinsured, people who have no insurance at all, people who are low income, people who are at or below the poverty level. There's this stigma that it's a shame, if it's shameful to go and ask for help, or you must be crazy or insane. That doesn't have necessarily anything to do with asking for help. Far too many times our loved ones or people that we know will tell us, "Oh, you all right, girl? You ain't, man, you ain't got no depression. So, look, you strong. You could handle it. Just pray your way out." Sometimes you cannot pray your way out of a situation. I know. I speak firsthand. Sometimes you can't. It's a chemical imbalance. Sometimes you cannot pray your way out. Sometimes you can't think your way out. Okay, but there is resources available. And I want just me by myself using my little itty bitty platform. And please share this video, this vlog, share this podcast, um, to other people. Let's band together, because too many people are going without the resources that they need in order to combat some certain mental health illnesses. Because if you speak up or get yourself some help or find a place to go, most of the times all of the conditions are treatable by medication and therapy or whatever, or sometimes no medication at all, just therapy, group therapy, one-on-one therapy sessions, get some coping skills, learn some coping skills that the mental health professionals are able to give you, and show you how to use them. So I say that to say this: people You don't have to suffer in silence. Folks, you have loved ones who are suffering, perhaps. Stop telling people that you could just pray your way out of it. Suggest to them, hey, have you ever thought about getting yourself some help? Hey, why don't I come along with you for moral support? That sounds better, and maybe they'll take you up on that opportunity, you know? But I want to say that Viewpoint in itself here in the state of Georgia is a wonderful, wonderful agency. I myself found that agency some years ago when I discovered, or when I decided I needed some help because I wasn't my old self any longer. And I knew that something was wrong, and I knew that um, something just wasn't right, and I didn't feel right. So I sought help. And it was hard at first, finding the necessary help, for myself, but I did find help, and I found Viewpoint, and Viewpoint helped me um, to be the new person that I am today. Because from my illness, to be honest, um, basically, and from time to time, I still look back and search for the OPG, but all of the OPG did not come back. So I had to hold on to the old part, the part of PG that was still there, and then garner the new PG, in different areas and different facets of my life. But thanks to Viewpoint Health agency, I was able to do that. All is not lost. When you fall into a mental health crisis or something, you don't have to suffer. you know, there is help. There may not be Viewpoint Health in your city or your township or your state, but there are agencies. And please, by all means, find the agency and go to it. Call them. There are hotlines. There's more resources available today um, in 2019 than there ever was. Actually, this is the 70th year since 1949 that Mental Health Month has been in existence. That's a long time. But during the time when they decided to enact the Mental Health Month, I mean, this was kind of like taboo. People kept sweeping under the rug, and it was just this ugly, ugly thing that reared its head, and we would do anything to make sure that other folks in the communities and our surrounding neighborhoods and areas who knew us or our family member, it didn't get out to them, and people ended up suffering. Some committing suicide, whatever, or just really falling by the wayside when they actually could have had, you know, most of their quality of life back, if not all of it. But today is a new day. It's a new dawn. We're in a new era, and there are resources that are available. So definitely tell your loved ones, tell your family members, tell your coworkers, tell your neighbors or whomever that may be suffering, or that you know all of a sudden there's this change in them that you're seeing, or all of a sudden there's a gradual change. Just suggest. Sometimes a person has to hear it from someone else before it sends a message home to them that, hey, maybe something is wrong. Maybe I should get help. Maybe I should try to find some resources. Because certainly resources are available. Now, um, I have this wonderful little saying that I want to share with you, because a clinician, no, a therapist, some years ago, to be exact, probably about 4 or 5 now, said to me, "Oh, Pat, you are so strong. I really admire that." And that was when I was basically at my lowest point. And I remember saying to them that, Tiffany, to be honest with you, I said to her in quote that I didn't know how strong I was until being strong was the only choice that I had. And she looked at me and tears welled up in her eyes. But I was telling the truth. And that's how I felt. So I say to you today, folks, that we don't know how strong we really are until being strong is the only choice that we have. Little food for thought for you. Marinate on that for a little while. Some of you may get it right off, and some of you may not, and some of you may take a little while to get what I'm saying. But that's just my sentiments. I don't know, I put it into those words. I don't know if those words have been constantly used before or not. I don't know, but that was just my thought. And I'm just sharing. But moving right along swiftly and professionally, I'm going to get off of the mental health awareness for about 3 minutes. And I want to talk to you also about two things quickly. Tyson has this big chicken tender recall. A lot of people like chicken nuggets. We have, to find a work-life balance these days. We have so much going on in our lives. Sometimes we don't have time to do these long, drawn-out meals. So we go to the grocer and we purchase products like Tyson because we know that name and it's been synonymous with, a good product, and we buy those big bags of the Tyson chicken chunks and the chicken nuggets and this and that. And next thing you know, there's been a recall. I mean, thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds of these products have been recalled. So don't forget to go to the FDA.org website, check out, or .gov, and check out the recalls, the recent recalls, because there have been a few here in the last 30 days, but just recently last week, Tyson was on the list and it wasn't looking too good. The other thing, folks, quickly, because I really need to get back into the focus of what this podcast is about, and I don't want to hold you too long tonight, but the FCC has put out a stern warning about the one-ring robocalls that have been coming through. They've been coming through in a section of the state of Georgia. They've been coming through in Louisiana, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and a number of other states. It's a one-ring robocall. Basically, they ring your phone, your cell phone, or maybe your house phone. I don't know. And then before you basically can pick up, I guess, or maybe in the middle of picking up, then they hang up. And a lot of people, especially elderly people, or especially some people, not really like, well, damn, who was this? You know, and you call that number back. The warning, the stern warning that the FCC put out earlier this week and the latter part of last week was, do not, I repeat, do not call the number back. Because basically, when you call the number back, what it does is it opens your line to basically redirect, and you will incur or can potentially incur these humongous roaming charges, because they're basically capturing and feeding off of your provider that gives you cell service or whatever to do other things or to make other calls right quick or to charge the calls that they're making to you instead of themselves or whomever. So please, let's be aware that These robocalls are real. Some of them could be potentially costly to the average consumer. So the FCC put out the warning of do not call the numbers back. If they call you, it's a number you don't recognize or whatever, you know it's an out of state number, whatever, you don't have people in that state or whatever, don't call the number back. Check your message, your phone messages. See if they left a message. If they didn't leave a message, well, guess what? Let them call back if they really want to talk to you, because chances are it's a robocall. Now, enough said about that. Now, moving right along, I'm going to move into the crux of the reason why I'm here tonight, and I'm talking about Mental Health Awareness Month. I want to talk briefly about Viewpoint Health and getting really into what the organization is about. And then I have some other things that I want to do with shouting out some people. You know, Viewpoint Health is a local community behavioral health center that provides services to individuals and families who need treatment and support to cope with mental illness, substance abuse, and intellectual and developmental disabilities. The services provided by Viewpoint Health are second to none, in my opinion. For it is the awesome professionals that I would have to say who work at Viewpoint Health that constantly help Viewpoint Health's organization to live up to its inspiring visions. This agency would be nothing without the hard work and dedication of their employees, their professional mental health staff, and that's a plethora of people, from the therapists to the clinicians to the people every day in the trenches out there face to face with the clients, doing the home visits and what have you, meeting with people, the residential team, the ACT team, just tons of people. The agency itself would be nothing. And what I'm going to do tonight, right here and now, is I have appointed myself as interim COO of Viewpoint Health, because far too many times, folks, agencies, big corporations, big companies, jobs, whatever, they never say thank you to their employees. Not that Viewpoint doesn't, but just in case, if you have not heard the words thank you in a long time, well, since I'm the COO temporarily just for tonight, and I'm having a meeting with all of my employees, this is what this is. This is a meeting. But the meeting is being heard, or can be heard, on YouTube. So also, the meeting is being televised. The revolution right here tonight is being televised. To be honest, it was very hard when I sat down to write out what I wanted to say and to peruse over the words and the thoughts that came across my mind. It was very hard for me to just shout out a couple of dynamic mental health professionals tonight, because you all do so many things for your clients each and every day. Jennifer Spites, I say to you, thank you for putting together such a dynamic team of professionals and people who strive every day to do their very best. They give their all. They give you more, Jennifer, than 100%. They give you way more than that. Jennifer Hibbert, I want you to know as well that the people in the trenches, your clinicians, your people who answer the phones, Sherry in the office, Stephanie in residential, June in residential, Ebony on the clinical side, Nicolette on the clinical side, Ms. Nicolette Williams, I'm talking about, Mrs. Nicolette Williams, because she is married, Ms. Latanya Lowe, who has recently been promoted. I want to say to the world, I want the world to know, congratulations on your new well-deserved promotion. There's a couple other people that whose names I didn't call because I really don't really know them, but I want to say thank you to you guys as well. Because also, oh, Miss Aisha, I don't want to leave you out. We got some people that has been with the organization for 20 plus years. Trust and believe they know what they're doing. Trust and believe they do. And they wouldn't have been around this long had they not been dedicated and super motivated to the agency and to the clients, but most of all to the clients. Thank you for making, folks, each day, each hour, and each minute that you serve the clients day in and day out. You should be proud of yourselves. I'm going to give you a hand clap. I'm giving you a pat on the back because you all deserve it. You are what makes Viewpoint. Yes, you are. You're very special. Now, I have two special people that I'm going to shout out tonight. And the first one is Ms. Latanya Lowe. I think your last name Lowe. Hell, I don't forgot. Yeah, I think it is. Ms. Latanya. I temporarily had a brain freeze here. I'm getting old, y'all. I'm getting old. I can't say thank you enough for everything that you do for the agency and the many clients that you serve on a daily basis. Just having your continued support and dedication has made me a better person and a happier person, just knowing you and just you having crossed my path. I feel luckier than most people just knowing, Latanya, that you're in my corner. I feel excited every time, I get to conversate with you. Whether it's about the weather, whether it's about these recent health challenges, whether it's about me selling something on eBay, or just the jibber jabber, chitter chatter of the current events of things that's taking place in the world today, or in and around the surrounding areas of the community in which we live. It's an incredible feeling of positivity and uplifting, encouraging words that I always receive from you. Such a positive person you are. Such an uplifting person. I feel rich just having someone who worries about another human being, who cares enough to call someone on a weekend at 6 o'clock in the evening when they should be chilling out on the beach or at a movie or having dinner or whatever, just to say, how are you doing? Hello, how are you? Did you get out of the house today? Now, Viewpoint, that's a hell of an employee. You got yourself a jewel, a real jewel. For Spikes, like I said before, you've created a dynamic team, and I applaud you for that. You know, these days in corporate America and in large companies, most employees are just numbers now. You know, folks are just doing just enough, some of them, to get that paycheck, but not the folks at Viewpoint on the clinical side and on the residential side. I beg to differ. They do the most. They work the hardest. You know, they make you look good, Jennifer. They really do. You know, and you must be one hell of a person yourself, because we tell you, just like in football, you know, the team itself goes out and plays the game. But without the quarterback calling the plays and without the coach, you don't really have a team. You don't have the cohesiveness. So, Jennifer, you must be the quarterback and the coach. So, thank you. LaTanya, thank you for being who you are. Thank you for giving of yourself and serving the mental health community in the manner in which you do. Miss Aisha, I don't know you that well. I know you've been around, and I know you know what you're doing. And the different transitions and the different moves that you guys have been making in the last year or so, or 2 years, that's been good. Change is good. It depends on how people accept change, but change is good. And lastly, I'd like to shout out Mrs. Nicolette Williams, my buddy, Miss Nicolette. Um, you're a very dynamic woman. I respect you. You know, you have a way of getting the job done. You know, I mean, literally, um, lending a hand when and where you can. Um, always thinking about the client. You know, stay late, go early, whatever. Um, keep doing what you're doing. You know, maybe Viewpoint Health can show some other agencies how it's really supposed to be done. Now, I'm not saying that Viewpoint Health is perfect, because there's no agency, no business that is perfect. But I tell you what, y'all are the best of the best in my book. And you're doing some positive things in the community. So thank you. Thank you a lot. Well, it's nearing 10:37, 10:38, and I think I've shouted out everyone that I needed to shout out, that I wanted to shout out. Um, and in a few minutes, I will no longer be the acting COO of Viewpoint Health. Of course, I'm playing because there is a COO, and I'm really not. I'm just kind of like a little skit, but um, it's been good. I hope you guys have enjoyed my meeting today. And again, I just want to say thank you to all of you for such a wonderful job that you're doing in the mental health community. You continuously stay in the trenches. You continuously transport folks around town and here and yonder and everywhere across town and everywhere they need to go and different things. You do the most, you know. Sometimes you work with very little, but you get the job done. Sometimes you're there before you need to be, you know, and sometimes you're still there long after you should have been gone home to your house or wherever you wanted to go, but you're still around doing what needs to be done. And that means a lot. I don't know if your clients are telling you thank you. I don't know if your clients appreciate you, but just know that I do. 100%. You know, it feels good to be appreciated. Yes, it does. So that's why I want to let you know that I appreciate each and every one of you. You know, some of the folks, um, I've known longer than others. Some of you that I mentioned and called out by name, some of us we didn't see eye to eye on some things. But that's okay too. We can agree to disagree and keep moving. And because at the end of the day, it's not where you start, it's where you end up. You know, we got to start somewhere, but the ultimate goal is finishing the race. So, thank you again, Miss Latanya. Again, congratulations on your new position. Thank you for your service. Miss Aisha, thank you for your many years of service and for the job that you do. Miss Nicolette, thank you for being out there in the trenches every day and doing an awesome job. Miss Ebony, formerly with the ACT team. I don't know you that well, but you seem like a wonderful person. Thank you for doing what you do. June, uh, in residential, thank you for getting their asses together. Excuse my expression. I'm talking for the client part. And documenting and doing some things that needed to be done a long time ago. Thank you. Stephanie, thank you. Sherry, thank you. In fact, I want to say something quickly about Miss Sherry. I'm going to tell you how good these people are, y'all, folks. Is I had a meeting I needed to go to. And don't you know, we had then flopped around with the meeting and we'd set up some stuff and don't you know, we had been scheduled and then we rescheduled and we moved some stuff around, moved some dates around, moved some times around. And y'all, how about I was 1 hour late for the meeting and everybody knows me knows that's not me. And so I was meeting someone that didn't know me. And Miss Sherry was the person to speak up and speak out on my character, on my person, to say, that's not them. They're all something ain't right. That's not like them. And sure enough, when I walked through the door, and I was like, I'm thinking I'm early. I'm here. I'm on time. And I was not. I was 1 hour late. Um, which was quite embarrassing for me. And I couldn't have apologized enough to the person, the party that I was had been sitting there waiting a damn hour. But it was they said, I told you. No, no, something like that wasn't, that's not like them. I know them. And she was sincere at saying that. But it just goes to show you, people in this agency get to know their clients, or they get to know you outside, or just when you're not involved anymore. What they know you, and they get to know you, and they'll speak up for you. They'll tell somebody something, and it felt good. It really did. It felt good. And I rarely see Miss Sherry, sometimes it's almost a year or something and I pop in or whatever. But yeah. So it's the little things like that, that people in the organization that run the organization, that's in the trenches every day. These are the kind of things, and these are the kind of dynamic people that Viewpoint Health has working for them. And it's a testament to the agency, but it's the people that make the agency. It really is. Viewpoint Health is just a name, but it's the dynamic people and the worker bees every day in those trenches, every day, doing their work, doing the best, and going beyond, what's expected of them, and continuing to put out uh, positive, positive vibes everywhere they go and anywhere that they go. So that means a lot. That means a lot. And they're the driving force behind that ship. So, Jennifer Hibbert, I hope that someone relays this to you or lets you listen to this, um, so you can understand firsthand, um, how I feel. Jennifer Spites, again, thank you. When I've had questions or when I've had concerns and issues, I've always reached out to you, and trust and believe. Um, I won't hesitate to do it now. So, but it's been real, y'all. It's been good. The time is now 10:45. Y'all know that Mother's Day is fast approaching, y'all. And it's the day that we honor our mothers. Mine is deceased. I buried both my parents before I was the age of 30. Unfortunately, being an only child is kind of sucks, But, I admire the mothers that I do know. Some are single mothers, some are married, mothers, and what have you. But I admire them, for the things that they do, because being a mother is one hell of an important job. And I realize motherhood or whatever does not come with any instructions at all. I admire y'all. I don't know how y'all do it. I'm not gonna lie. I knew from a little kid I wasn't having any children. Not me. But I like children. Don't get me wrong, I do. And I tend to spoil other people's kids. But when I don't want to be bothered, I don't want to be bothered. When I'll babysit on my terms. I get the kids and I give them candy and everything, and I let them have a really good time, and then I bring them home. And they can poop and upchuck or whatever, climb the walls or whatever at their own house. That's the kind of stuff that I do to people's kids. We have fun. But anyway, if you have a mom still here on earth, I hope that every day is Mother's Day for your mother. Let's just not wait for that particular Sunday to go and grab your mama out the nursing home or wherever the hell she is and take her to Golden Corral and make her stand out in 350-degree heat to get into a buffet that people have ravaged or whatever, um, give your mother the praise and give your mother the thanks and the recognition that she so deserves every day. You know, call them, go see them, take them somewhere, do something nice for them, go cut the yard or whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? Don't wait till it's too late, and then you look up and then you hollering and crying and snotting and whatever, and you didn't do a damn thing. You know, and then you shouldn't holler, scream, and cry when your conscience is beating the hell out of you. That's just my sentiments, and I'm just saying, I'm getting on my soapbox now. But yeah, that's just how I feel. Because I look at some people who are so wonderfully blessed to have their mothers and fathers, some of you, um, and you don't do anything. You don't do shit. You don't even call them. It'd be weeks, months, whatever. You don't even go see them. You don't do nothing. Absolutely nothing. And then here it is on Mother's Day. You have the nerve to go get your mama out the nursing home, or you have the nerve to go get her since she ain't seen you since last year or whatever. And then you take a golden corral. I'd be mad as hell if my son or my daughter drug me out for wherever the hell I was and it got me sitting out in the broiling hot sun, take me to goddamn golden corral trough so I could eat some damn food that people done picked over or whatever. No. Go get me, take me to goddamn Popeyes, take me to McDonald's somewhere. I just want to spend the quality time with you or whatever, you know, in hopes that basically this is something that we do monthly or weekly or whatever, but not just that one day out of the year. You know, it's nice to recognize your mother on that day. Yes, it is. Um, but let's learn to let Mother's Day be every day. You know, honor your people while they're here on earth with you, because trust and believe, when they're gone, they're gone. There ain't no damn do-overs. There ain't, you don't get a second chance at anything. They're nothing at all. Take it from me, I know. And I was honor thy mother and thy father. I was 17 when my mother died. I wasn't even 30 when my father died. But very mature and didn't cause them not 1 minute of trouble. But wow, 17, that was a tender age. Man, I wish I had my mom, but it's okay. I got other people that I recognize and that I will continue to recognize for Mother's Day, for being the mothers that they are. My mother is in heaven, looking down on me, and I'm sure she's proud, but I love my mother dearly to this day. No, she's no longer here on earth, but I still love her, eternally. And I'm eternally grateful for everything that she taught me in the small amount of time that she had with me here on earth. Because it has gotten me through a many a day. Her wisdom that she shared with me and her morals and principles that both her and my father shared with me and instilled in me has made me the person that I am. So I want to say happy Mother's Day, early happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers out there, all of the folks that thinking about running to the Walmart or the drugstore on Sunday trying to get a car for your mom or whatever. It's the little things. It's the little itty little bitty things that truly make the difference. That phone call, that go and see your mother, go and take her to church, go and do something with her, sitting there holding her hand, sitting there, maybe reading a Bible verse or scripture with her, maybe taking her to a movie, something that she enjoys or whatever. Folks, let's not forget, if it wasn't for your mother, we wouldn't be here today. It ain't because, daddy necessarily. Yeah, he helped get us here, but mama carried us for 9 months, some a little more than 9 months. If it wasn't for her, we wouldn't be here. Think about that. Let that marinate a little while. And I'm going to get on up off of here. It's been good, y'all. Don't forget that you have been listening to Unapologetic Tea Time with your host, PG. That's me. Don't forget to go over to my blog at www.unapologetic-time with pg.com, where you will find helpful tips, tricks, articles, and lots of information that one may be able to use. If not you, then someone else. Share it, pass it on, and don't forget to repost. Anything, any article that you see on my blog, you can feel free to do so. Thank you. Don't forget to share and like this vlog, this podcast, this video. Comment if you like, and have a great rest of your Wednesday evening, and have an awesome Thursday. Thank you for tuning in with Unapologetic Tea Time with your host, PG. That's me. Bye now.